But then guys, the next generation iPad Pro, when's it coming and what kind of upgrades could we see inside of it when it's released? Well, today I'm going to try my best to give you all of these answers with everything that we know so far. So to start with let's talk about the current iPad Pro and where we are with this. So the current iPad Pro got introduced in 2024 in May time, and with this was a brand new design iPad Pro. The first time we've had an update on the iPad Pro since 2018. So we're talking a long time since it's been updated. The major differences was definitely the form factor. So now, for example, that we actually have a design where if you actually went for the 11-inch model, it's as thin as 5.3 millimeters. But then if you actually went for the larger 13-inch model, well, guess what? It goes down as thin as 5.1 millimeters, and it's actually Apple's thinnest kind of product that they've ever made. So this is really, really remarkable to see this. The other big sort of upgrades that we got in this iPad Pro was that we had a brand new tandem OLED display put inside of it. The first iPad to actually have an OLED display put inside of it is this iPad Pro, and of course it's a Pro Motion display out there, so it can go up to 120 Hertz. And I've even said myself, out of all the OLED sort of displays that I've seen out there right now, I would still say this is the best OLED display that I've ever seen on a mobile device. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and to see it has, you've got to believe it when you go and see it, because it is amazing the difference and the clarity that you can see with the colors with this. The only other kind of exterior kind of changes that you could actually notice is that we only had one wide camera on the rear. Now we don't have two anymore, and obviously the LiDAR sensor. And then also on the front, we also have got the new center stage camera. What's on the landscape side, it's not on the portrait side. But the only other big major change that we got with the iPad Pros was that we got the introduction of the M4 put inside of it. This was actually Apple's first device to have one of the M4 series chips in it, and it was a screamer to be put inside of an iPad Pro. There are currently two configurations of the iPad Pro, so you can get one with the M4, and this one has, say, 9 CPU cores. This is made up of 3 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores. And then just like the latest MacBook Pro and the Mac Mini and the iMac, you've also got the full fat version of the M4, I call it. What's the 10-core version, and this gives you 6 efficiency cores and 4 performance cores. And then also we do have the version that actually has more GPU cores inside it, up to 10, what is incredible to actually see. And then again, depending if you pick yourself the lower amount or the higher amount of storage, also depends on how much RAM you get inside the iPad Pro. So if you go for the 256 gigabyte or the 512 gigabytes, you get 8 gigabytes of RAM. But if you actually went for the 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte version of the iPad Pro, funny enough, you actually get 16 gigabytes of RAM inside of it. The only other thing that also got introduced to these new iPad Pros was that we had the brand new Magic Keyboard brought out for them. And what this allows you to do finally is to actually have function buttons at the very top. And also we got a couple of new colors with that. But apart from this, really, it works just like any iPad out there. And to some people, that's a bit of a letdown. Some of you guys want to actually see Mac OS running on an iPad, or for iPad OS to be even stronger than it is right now. And hopefully we're going to get more leaks and rumors coming in telling us that this is going to be the case going forwards. But from that then, what are we most likely going to see with the next generation iPad Pro? Well, personally, all those sort of design changes and all the big updates we've just seen are probably going to stay exactly the same. We're probably still going to get an OLED display, and we're probably still going to get the same sort of form factor design, the cameras, everything like that is going to stay exactly the same, including the battery size and everything. The major sort of difference that's probably going to go inside is going to be the new M5 chip. Now, we don't have the full details of what the M5 is going to be, but the M4, like I said, was the first kind of chip out there to actually bring the baseline version to have actually 10 CPU cores. And it's most likely that Apple are going to keep this exactly the same now for the M5. For GPU cores though, there is the potential that we might get 2 extra inside of it, because Apple do like to do that, like to swap and kind of either give you more CPU cores or more GPU cores on their sort of baseline version. So potentially we could get 2 extra GPU cores that we might not. It might be a 10 by 10, or it could be a 10 CPU, 12 GPU, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. The only other sort of other change out there is that the iPad Air with the M4 is the only device out there right now what is offering 8 gigabytes of RAM, like I said, on 2 of those storage of the configurations. But all the other sort of MacBooks that are out there right now and Macs that have the M4 base inside of it, well, they come with 16 gigabytes of RAM. So it makes sense now for the iPad Pro, probably the minimum amount of RAM that's going to be inside of it is going to be 16 gigabytes going forwards with that. And there is the potential that even the higher storage amount ones might even get 24 gigabytes of RAM inside. So we'll just have to wait and see what Apple tried to do there with the actual RAM scenario. The other thing obviously is, like I said, about storage. Maybe this might be the time that Apple might finally update the iPad Pro in line with, say, other kind of Pro devices like the MacBook Pros, will start out at 512 gigabytes of storage, that Apple might do the same here for the iPad Pro. The only other thing I would actually say is that really everything else is going to stay the same. We're still going to get the 11-inch, and we're still going to actually get the 13-inch, and probably the weight is going to be around about the same. Battery life up to sort of 10 hours, exactly the same. No other sort of changes there. The only other one thing that we could potentially see is that Apple may introduce Wi-Fi 7 inside of this iPad Pro by the time it comes out, and also we might actually see Apple's brand new cellular chip inside of it for 5G connectivity if you decide to pick that option. But apart from this, don't expect any other kind of new changes, no new Magic Keyboards or anything like that. The Apple Pencil Pro is going to still work with it and things like this. Don't expect any other kind of changes. But one thing that is definitely going to happen before the iPad Pro gets announced, and that is the giveaway we are doing on this channel for this. This here is an iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky subscriber on this channel before the end of December time 2024. And all you have to do to enter into this giveaway at this stage is just put down into the comments below of what technology gear that you're still hoping to get in 2024, or maybe even into 2025. Put it down into the comments below right now. It can be Apple related, it can be non-Apple related, so it could be one of the new MacBooks or Macs or iMac, or it could actually be, say, even something that's not Apple related, like for example a PS5 Pro, or maybe the Switch 2 if it comes out the early part of 2025. Put it down into the comments below right now. And like I said, you could be in the chance to win this iPhone 16 Pro Max, what does have 256 gigabytes of storage and also the Desert Titanium. The other thing I just want to quickly say though, guys, is that obviously there is going to be a bit more information about the giveaway happening around the, say, mid-December sort of time. And with that is also going to be details of a form that will need to be filled in too. And also I'll give the information of when I'm going to do the live stream for this iPhone 16 Pro Max. So you won't want to miss out on that. So the best thing you can do right now is to subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. And plus you also want to subscribe because I'm giving this away to a subscriber. The last thing I just want to quickly say to you guys is, sadly there are still lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonating me, telling you to WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, you know, direct message. Please do ignore these people, or better still, you can see right here, please do report them. So moving on from this then, when are we likely going to see the iPad Pro with an M5 inside of it? Well, we already know that potentially we're going to be seeing an iPad Air coming out in the likes of early part of 2025, and that's going to have the M3 inside of it. So for Apple to update the iPad Pro, it's going to have to be probably after that sort of stage. Now, the other thing to actually mention here is that obviously the M4 journey is still not complete. So for example, with this, we don't have, say, the Mac Studio updated with the latest and greatest M4 Max, or even the M4 Ultras come out inside there. The same with the Mac Pro. And we've heard heard that this is going to potentially be coming out around springtime or summer next year in 2025. Potentially, I would say probably WWDC sort of time. And then soon after that, we'd be going into sort of Apple Watch and iPhone sort of territory, what's going to be, around that point in September time. So personally, I believe that the earliest that we're going to actually probably see this new iPad Pro is that it's going to be probably one of the starts of the M5 journey. So we're looking towards probably around about October or November time next year in 2025. And by that time, the iPad Pro with the M4 will probably be around about 18 months old when that does come out. But for price-wise though, right now the 11-inch model starts at $999 US. And then obviously the larger 13-inch model starts at $1,299 US. And most likely Apple are going to retain these exact same prices with the M5 inside of it. So don't expect the prices to be going down. And I possibly would say be thankful they're probably not going to be going up or so. But that's probably around the sort of price that we're looking towards. So Apple will retain that. The only other thing that I want to quickly say is that as much as we're getting these new iPads, personally, in my opinion, I think that Apple really need to change up iPad OS. They either need to make it even more stronger and better and not so similar to the likes of, say, iOS right now. We've got all this raw power inside the iPad Pro, but yet we can't fully utilize it in a great operating system out there. I know iPad OS is great for, say, like an iPad mini, or it's great for the likes of, say, even the 10th generation iPad, but for the Pro series, we need something stronger, and also potentially the ability to have Mac OS maybe on it too. So we'll have to wait and see if there's any leaks and rumors coming out about that, but at the moment it doesn't look likely. But with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button, and also if you do want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons too, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.